Welcome to TenoLogy, where we count down the top 10 best of everything. In today's video, we're diving into the world of video games. From revolutionary gameplay mechanics to unforgettable stories, these games have shaped the industry and captured the hearts of millions. Whether you're a seasoned gamer or a newcomer, you won't want to miss this list of the top 10 greatest video games of all time. Let's get started. Number 10. The Last of Us. The Last of Us is a 2013 action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog and published by Sony Computer Entertainment. Players control Joel, a smuggler, as he escorts a teenage girl, Ellie, across a post-apocalyptic United States. The game is played from a third-person perspective and allows players to use firearms, improvised weapons, and stealth to defend against hostile humans and cannibalistic creatures. The game was developed in 2009 after the release of Naughty Dog's previous game, Uncharted 2: Among Thieves. The game's focus was on the relationship between Joel and Ellie, with actors Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson portrayed through voice and motion capture. The original score was composed and performed by Gustavo Santaolalla. The game was released for the PlayStation 3 in June 2013 and received acclaim for its narrative, gameplay, visuals, sound design, score, characterization, and female characters. It became one of the best-selling video games, selling over 1.3 million units in its first week and 17 million by April 2018. The game has been ranked as one of the greatest video games ever made. Naughty Dog has released several downloadable content editions, including The Last of Us, Left Behind, a remastered version, a remake, a sequel, and other media. Number 9. Halo: Combat Evolved. Halo: Combat Evolved is a 2001 first-person shooter video game developed by Bungie and published by Microsoft Game Studios for the Xbox. It was released as a launch game for Microsoft's Xbox console in 2001 and later ported to Microsoft Windows and Mac OS X in 2003. The game follows the player as the Master Chief, a cybernetically enhanced super soldier, and his artificial intelligence, Cortana. Players battle aliens to uncover the secrets of the ring-shaped artificial world, Halo. Developed by Bungie in 1997, Halo evolved from a real-time strategy game to a first-person shooter. Microsoft acquired Bungie and turned Halo into a launch game for its first video game console, the Xbox. Halo was a critical and commercial success, often praised as one of the greatest video games ever made. Its sequel, Halo 2, was released in 2004 and spawned a multi-billion-dollar multimedia franchise. By November 2005, over 6 million copies had been sold worldwide. A remaster of the game, Halo: Combat Evolved Anniversary, was released for Xbox 360 in 2014 and included in Halo: The Master Chief Collection. Number 8. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim is a 2011 action role-playing game developed by Bethesda Game Studios and published by Bethesda Softworks. It is the fifth main installment in the series, set 200 years after the events of Oblivion. The game takes place in Skyrim, the northernmost province of Tamriel, on the planet Nirn. The main story revolves around the Dragonborn character, the Dragonborn, on their quest to defeat Alduin the World Eater, a prophesied dragon to destroy the world. The game follows the open-world tradition of its predecessors, allowing players to travel to discovered locations at any time and postpone the main storyline indefinitely. The game received critical acclaim for its character advancement, world design, visuals, and dual-wielding combat. It shipped over 7 million units within the first week of its release, and had sold over 20 million units by June 2013. 3 downloadable content DLC add-ons were released, including Dawnguard, Hoothfire, and Dragonborn, which were bundled with the base game into the Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim Legendary Edition in June 2013. A remastered version, the Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim Special Edition, was released in October 2016, and a separate virtual reality-only version, the Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim VR, was released in November 2017. The special edition was also released on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X/S as part of the Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim Anniversary Edition in November 2021 and Nintendo Switch in September 2022. Number 7. Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a 2018 action-adventure game developed and published by Rockstar Games, the third entry in the Red Dead series and a prequel to the 2010 game. The story takes place in 1899, with Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and member of the Van der Linde gang, dealing with the decline of the Wild West while attempting to survive against government forces, rival gangs, and other adversaries. The game is presented through first- and third-person perspectives and allows players to freely roam in its interactive open world. The development process lasted over 8 years, starting soon after Red Dead Redemption's release. Rockstar co-opted all studios into one large team to facilitate development, drawing inspiration from real locations rather than film or art. The game was Rockstar's first built specifically for 8th-generation consoles, testing their technical capabilities while porting Grand Theft Auto V. Red Dead Online, the game's online multiplayer mode, allows up to 32 players to engage in cooperative and competitive game modes. Released for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One in October 2018, and for Windows and Stadia in November 2019, it broke several records and generated $725 million in sales from its opening weekend. The game received critical acclaim for its story, characters, open world, graphics, music, and level of detail, but some criticism was directed at its control scheme and emphasis on realism over player freedom. It won more than 175 Game of the Year awards, and is considered one of 8th-generation console gaming's most significant titles and among the greatest video games ever made. Number 6. Tetris. Tetris is a puzzle video game created in 1985 by Soviet software engineer Alexei Pajitnov. It has been published by multiple companies on over 65 platforms, setting a Guinness World Record for the most ported game. In 1996, Pajitnov co-founded the Tetris company with Henk Rogers to manage licensing. The game involves players completing lines by moving different-shaped pieces, tetrominos, that descend onto the playing field. The completed lines disappear, granting points, and players can fill vacated spaces. The game ends when the uncleared lines reach the top of the playing field. Players can delay this outcome, and some versions add variations like 3D displays or systems for reserving pieces. Tetris is often considered one of the greatest video games, with 202 million copies sold by December 2011. The Game Boy version is one of the best-selling games of all time, with over 35 million copies sold. The game's imagery has influenced architecture, music, and cosplay. Number 5. Grand Theft Auto V. Grand Theft Auto V is a 2013 action-adventure game developed by Rockstar North and published by Rockstar Games. It is the 7th main entry in the Grand Theft Auto series, following 2008's Grand Theft Auto 4. The game follows 3 protagonists, Michael DeSanta, Ned Luke, Franklin Clinton, Sean Fontenot, and Trevor Phillips, Stephen Ogg, who attempt to commit heists under pressure from a corrupt government agency and powerful criminals. Players can freely roam San Andreas's open-world countryside and fictional city of Los Santos, based on Los Angeles. The game world is navigated on foot and by vehicle, with players controlling the protagonists throughout single-player and switching among them during and outside missions. The story is centered on heist sequences, with many missions involving shooting and driving gameplay. A wanted system governs the aggression of law enforcement response to players who commit crimes. Grand Theft Auto Online, the game's online multiplayer mode, allows up to 30 players to engage in various cooperative and competitive game modes. The game's development began around the time of Grand Theft Auto 4's release, drawing inspiration from previous projects like Red Dead Redemption and Max Payne 3. The game's soundtrack features an original score composed by a team of producers who collaborated over several years. Grand Theft Auto V broke industry sales records and became the fastest-selling entertainment product in history, earning $800 million in its first day and $1 billion in its first 3 days. It is considered one of 7th and 8th generation console gaming's most significant titles and among the best video games ever made. Number 4. Minecraft. Minecraft is a 2011 sandbox game developed by Mojang Studios, originally created by Marcus Notch Persson using Java programming. The game was released on May 17, 2009, and has since been ported to various platforms, including smartphones, tablets, and video game consoles. In 2014, Microsoft purchased Mojang and Minecraft intellectual property for $2.5 billion. Minecraft is the best-selling video game of all time, With over 300 million copies sold and nearly 140 million monthly active players as of 2023. Players explore a procedurally generated three-dimensional world with infinite terrain made up of voxels. They can discover and extract raw materials, craft tools, and build structures, earthworks, and machines. The game has two main modes: Survival mode, where players must acquire resources to survive, and Creative mode, where players have unlimited resources and the ability to fly. The game's large community offers a wide variety of user-generated content, such as modifications, servers, skins, texture packs, and custom maps. Minecraft has received critical acclaim, winning several awards and being cited as one of the greatest video games of all time. It has also been used in educational environments to teach chemistry, computer-aided design, and computer science. Several spin-offs have been made, including Minecraft, Minecraft Story Mode, Minecraft Earth, Minecraft Dungeons, and Minecraft Legends. A live-action film based on the game is scheduled for a theatrical release in April 2025. Number 3. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is a 2015 action role-playing game developed by CD Projekt, the third in the Witcher series. The game takes place in a fictional fantasy world based on Slavic mythology, where players control Geralt of Rivia, a monster slayer for hire, and search for his adopted daughter. Players battle the game's dangers with weapons and magic, interact with non-player characters, and complete quests to acquire experience points and gold. The game has 3 possible endings, determined by the player's choices at key points in the narrative. Developed over 3.5 years, the game was based on Central and Northern European cultures. The music was composed by Marcin Przybyłowicz and performed by the Brandenburg State Orchestra. The game was released for PlayStation 4, Windows, and Xbox One in May 2015, with a Nintendo Switch version released in October 2019. The game has received critical acclaim for its gameplay, narrative, world design, combat, and visuals, and holds over 200 Game of the Year awards. 2 expansions, Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, were also released, and a Game of the Year edition was released in August 2016. The game has sold over 50 million units as of March 2023, making it one of the best-selling video games of all time. Number 2. Super Mario Bros. Super Mario Bros. Is a platform game developed and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo Entertainment System, NES, the successor to the 1983 arcade game Mario Bros. And the first game in the Super Mario series. It was first released in Japan in 1985 and later in North America and PAL regions in 1987. Players control Mario or his brother Luigi in multiplayer mode to rescue Princess Toadstool from King Koopa. They navigate side-scrolling stages while avoiding hazards and pits with power-ups like the Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, and Starman. Designed by Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, the game is considered one of the greatest video games of all time, renowned for its precise controls. It has been re-released on most Nintendo systems and is one of the best-selling games of all time, with over 58 million copies sold worldwide. It is credited as one of the key factors in reviving the video game industry after the 1983 crash and popularizing the side-scrolling platform game genre. Koji Kondo's soundtrack is considered one of the best video game soundtracks of all time. Mario has become prominent in popular culture, and Super Mario Bros. Has begun a multimedia franchise, including a long-running game series, animated television series, Japanese anime feature film, live-action feature film, and animated feature film. Number 1. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild is a 2017 action-adventure game developed by Nintendo for the Nintendo Switch and Wii U. The game follows the player as an amnesiac Link, trying to save Princess Zelda and prevent Calamity Ganon from destroying the world. The game is set in the unstructured world of Hyrule, encouraging exploration and experimentation. The development process lasted 5 years, starting after the release of The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword in 2011. The game's designers drew inspiration from Shadow of the Colossus and The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim, with Monolith Soft assisting in designing landscapes and topography. The game was initially planned for release in 2015 as a Wii U exclusive, but was released as a launch game for the Switch and the final Nintendo game for the Wii U on March 3, 2017. It has won numerous Game of the Year awards and is the best-selling Zelda game and one of the best-selling video games of all time. That wraps up our list of the top 10 greatest video games of all time. Do you agree with our picks? Or do you have your own favorite that didn't make the list? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow gamers, and subscribe to TenoLogy for more countdowns on the best in entertainment, tech, and beyond. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.